is now convened. We will ask a member from St. Anne, Northwestern, to bring us closer to the Almighty by word of prayer.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for this another day that you have made. Father, we ask that as we go into our Standing Finance Committee meeting, mighty God, you will provide us with the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, Father God, as we go about our nation's business. Father, we ask for your divine coverage over each and every one of us as we go home. Remember our family members. Remember the people of our nation. Father, we ask that, Lord Jesus, this meeting will be speedy but fruitful and productive. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Thank you. Members, you would have remembered that on the 21st day of January 2025, the House of Representatives, by resolution, referred the Jamaica Public Bodies second supplementary estimate of revenue and expenditure for the year ending March 2025 and the third supplementary estimate of the expenditure for the financial year 2024-25 to the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee of the House of Representatives for consideration and report. The committee's report, along with the Jamaica Public Body's second supplementary estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year ending March 2025 and the third supplementary estimate of expenditure for the financial year 2024-2025 are now before us for our consideration and report. This committee is now ready to start its deliberation, and I ask the leader of the House to inform us how we will proceed.
Morning, everybody. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. The ungodly, they are not so. They are like a shaft which the wind driveth away. Welcome to Portland Spice TV. Welcome to all of the people that are on TikTok as well. It's a blessing to have you here with us this morning. I want to say welcome to all my subscribers, all Portland Spice people. Morning, see them in the chat room already. This morning, I'm telling you quick and fast, the teacher will be in class. Ralston Iman will be with us this morning. So send off the link, call somebody. And if you don't have questions, I'm going to pose no questions, but then you have to go call straight. But make we see, we want to take some of your questions this morning. This is, I think, the first class with Ralston for 2025. Call everybody, share the link, listen to what happened at the Standing Finance Committee with a supplementary budget. Brother, this is not a vlogging show. Yeah? This is not a vlogging show. It's an opinion show. It's opinion based. But our opinion are taken based on factual things, not make up things and no lie. Call all of them. Tell them to come over here so this morning. Call everybody. Because this is where we do the truth. Only the truth. Listen to this. We kind of skip over the preambles. Listen to this.
And what would the other money be used for?
Listen to this.
In relation to I am concerned about the underspend of 19 billion. When you look at the capital budget, my recollection, I could be wrong, but you can confirm, my recollection, it was about 75 billion central government and about 75 billion from the public bodies. 19 billion is a large chunk, and we have been consistent in the last couple of financial years in underspending the capital budget. So I want to find out what the reasons are for the underspend. I noticed that there are a number of public investment projects which have not materialized at the pace that we would want it. The government has made a commitment to address procurement. You can give us an update as to where we are in the rationalization and the simplification of the procurement process, and whether the main reasons for the delay are related to procurement.
All right, sorry. Well, starting with your question about the 19 billion. If you will note, 11.2 billion of that is from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. It's from the contingency. Pardon me? It's for contingency for public investment projects. And to note that most of the remainder of the allocation is for new projects that have not come on stream just yet. In terms of education,
Sorry, it's not new to you. It's been a problem that we have had. And the inability to spend your capital project has a whole heap of implications, because your capital expenditure drives economic growth. So my real question is, what is causing our delay? Because we have made provision for it within a particular time period, and consistently we have to shift it. So I want to know, is it an issue of procurement? Is it that we can't find suitable contractors to do the work that we need to do? What's the reason? Because it has implications for economic growth, because your capital projects drive economic growth.
They're deliberating. I don't know if you can hear in the background. But this don't look good. We not pause the video, you know. It's a rule, and it is there for everybody to go and watch. The bungling.
all right, again, member, 11.2 billion of the 19 came from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service out of the contingency for new projects. And those new projects are getting off slowly. Additionally, Spark program only started in December, and the Spark program is 2.2. So there was a delay there in getting that off the ground. With regards to education and the question about the arrears, so education was given an allocation that includes 6.6 billion for the payment of statutory arrears. Those date back to I think 2000, about 2012, 2013, way back. Some of it may be as a result of schools, but I know some of it is as a result of the central ministry as well, not just the schools.
We're having a little difficulty with getting Ralston online. Yeah, man, we have you in the studio, but we're just trying to patch you through now. We have you online, but we're trying to patch you through to the studio. just having a little hole up with that. But we have Ralston Hyman online, people. So share up the link. Call everybody. Let them know that right now we are about to talk the things them. We are about to talk the things them. Yeah? Because a lot of people are say a whole heap of things. And when push come to shove now, nobody wants to accept the blame. Everybody wants to blame somebody else for their shortcoming. And we're not going to accept it. We're not going to accept it. We're basically putting the thing on the table where it deserves. And we have an analyst who is second to none anywhere around here. A man who has proven himself. And people understand when this man talk. Ralston Hyman, morning, happy new year. Blessings, my brother.
Same to you and your listeners. Yeah, man, blessings.
Welcome to Portland Spice TV. It's a new year, Ralston. Last year wasn't so good for us, but people are trying to tell us that it was very good. Let's start where it's hot, Ralston. The capital budget has been cut by over $19 billion. We heard Julian Robinson in the parliament ask the minister why it was cut. And we heard, I don't know if you heard the mumbo jumbo.
No, but I had already told the public that would be what would happen, and that would be the mumbo jumbo that you're getting. So I told the public that from a month ago, that's what they would do.
Now, explain to my listeners and viewers. Because we get to understand that some people make it sound like it's a good thing. I want to make it clear to everybody here. As you heard, Julian Robinson says it has implications. It is not a good thing. Explain to my viewers and listeners, Ralston, what that means to the country.
Well, just a simple matter. Them things are not rocket science. They're a simple thing. So, for example, if you are going to grow, bring it down to a family. As a family, if you are going to grow, you have to have a house, right? So if you look at the capital budget as the money to make the house, if you cut the capital budget, then it means that the family now have the house. So it means that you can't grow because you're not going to sleep properly at night time. You don't have no proper bathroom for going on. You don't have no proper toilet. You don't have no proper room for going on. So it's just as simple as that. When you cut the capital budget, it means you cut the budget that you're supposed to spend on road, you're supposed to spend on hospital, you're supposed to spend on courthouse and all of them things there. So them things hold back the country. Additionally, the capital budget means you draw sand, you buy cement, you buy concrete, you buy steel, so a whole per man get work. So the man who drive the truck from down the river, the man who will load the sand get money, the architect get money. You follow me?
Yeah.
And the shopkeeper get money in the community because more man can go shop for buy things, you know.
It drives the economy.
Yeah, man.
Because, and worse in our country that we're not really producing anything of substance.
Precisely. And remember, it's a consistent cutting of the capital budget while we're almost at the brink of a recession. Because every year them cut the capital budget, which is a budget that multiplies the economy.
Hold on, you're saying every year them do the same thing, yeah?
Yeah, man. Every year them cut the capital budget.
Every single year since 2016?
Every single year. Yeah, man. Since 9 o'clock, then every year them cut the capital budget and say procurement causes. Yes.
So,
and that is why we're where we are right now.
So a lot of the projects that have been promised, the way them say them are going to do, those projects, do they depend on this capital budget?
That's why the Prime Minister tell about 2026 because he knows they don't have a capital budget for them this year. So he might give a promise and say, when you bring me back in 2026, we do that.
So, me I understand it and tell me if me wrong. It sounds to me like during March, April, when the budget is being read, them hype up the budget. Yeah, and say them are going to do all these manner of things and it will cost this amount of money. And coming down into the last quarter, them cut it back.
Them do like 2 and 3. So they present 4 budget every year. No? So they present the original budget in March. And then by September, then do a supplementary. First supplementary, then second supplementary. And all of that is always chopping the capital budget.
So the capital budget
is the growth budget.
And that grow the economy based on where we are as a nation. Because tourism.
for every economy in the world. That's economics 101. Capital spending is what drive economic activity globally.
Government have to spend money in the country.
Man. For infrastructure, road, bridge, hospitals.
Talk to me. Invest in agriculture.
Yeah, man. Rural road network and all of them things there. Yeah? That kind of stuff. Yeah, man.
So every year, you are saying, last year, what was the cut?
Last year, them cut it from 75 to about 60. This year, them cut it from 75 to 56. Every year that them. And say it's procurement. Why them can't spend the money?
But the procurement people came out the other day and said, don't blame us.
Well, that's the point I'm making. So it's just an excuse. That's what I'm telling you.
The procurement people came out.
The real reason for that is because they want to continue to pay down the debt faster than program for. That's the real reason for that. So when they run out of revenues and the revenues run short, then still pay the debt faster than program for and cut the capital budget.
So are we still paying more on the debt that we need to pay, Ralston?
The primary surplus for April to November was 100.238 billion, while the amount required was $96 billion. 100.238, while the amount required was 96. The minister in our first interview.
96 million?
Billion. When government spend money, a billion them talk about.
All right, so that means they're paying about 4 billion more than them need to pay.
Yeah, man, and the fiscal deficit was lower than program for it was 19 billion and should have been 24 billion.
So why they still do that?
Well, the minister in an interview on a particular radio station told the analyst, the host, that if them don't that, the whole thing will fall apart. The whole world will come crumbling down.
Yeah. Nonsense. But isn't that a blatant lie?
Yeah, but analysts not educated enough to tell the minister that you're talking foolishness.
Ralston, for all of my listeners, them were like when we simplify the thing. You borrow a loan of $1 million. Local people, you borrow $1 million. The loan agency said to you, pay me $50,000 a month for let's say 2 years, 24 months. Just for word's sake. I decide that I go and pay $75,000 a month. So me I pay $25,000 more than what the bank require me to pay. Because me I say
and the explanation that them give is that we pay the banker faster so that when we go for borrow again we get lower interest rate.
Right.
Them not borrow.
But while paying the banker faster, you also say you're not fix no road. No, back to me. Me not buy no food put in the house.
Correct.
It's just rice. You get little rice. You get little rice and tin mackerel and flour and tin mackerel to stay alive. But me not buy no chicken, me not buy no vegetable, me not buy no spring water, no milk, just sugar. So me basically I run my house on the bone.
Precisely.
The people they can't go to school every day.
Correct. And most importantly, fix up the house, the tile it.
No, not the house. Remember the house not finishing up. Remember the house are built as you said earlier, you know. So not more now do upon the house, you know. The building stop. We just survive.
Same way, sir. Yep. And everybody in Jamaica can identify with that. Barely survive. Yep.
So we are getting this notion that we manage the economy well. That's what the government. That's what the government has been saying, Ralston.
Them use one variable and say paying down the debt faster than program for is good management. That is what them sell the people. But when you look and everybody look and see how the place packed down in terms of road, in terms of hospital, all those things are the responsibilities of government. So you can't just use one variable and say you run your house properly. So you tell your wife, so you're not pay the bank faster than themselves to pay.
Yeah.
So your wife I say, well, I'm to the pick them for go to school, well, I'm to the food for coming out of the house. You now finish the house. Never left you. Which is what happened right now.
You know, my whole concern about that is that I don't think there are enough people out there who understand the financial sector and follow the numbers.
Particularly the people who talk the most, the analysts.
No, but that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going, Ralston. They don't follow the numbers enough to speak on these topics or it is a deliberate act to mislead the Jamaican people?
Some of them, and some of them don't have the numbers, and some of them don't understand the numbers. Some of them are just pretenders, charlatans, and some of them embedded, and some don't know the numbers, them don't know how to find the numbers. Yeah.
Ralston, follow me now.
Mm-hmm.
You've been watching this economy, and you have been talking. So not like you are watching and saying,
for 36 years.
Your history
Yeah,
is out there.
Yeah,
You've been saying that for 10 consecutive quarters, the Jamaican economy was decelerating, slowing down from the comeback from COVID.
From COVID, yeah,
So we're dropping back, way before burial.
Yeah, man.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica said that in the third quarter, we declined by 3.5%. You've been saying it was coming.
Yeah, man.
What is happening now looking at the fourth quarter in Jamaica?
Well, we expect a decline at the fourth quarter, which means that we'll be officially in a recession. And based on what the minister did with the capital budget, you might see another decline in the first quarter of this year too. So you're going to see a protracted recession.
So you're looking at 3 quarters of decline? But speak to people who've been saying to us that we not talk doom and gloom, and Marlon Morgan actually tell me, say, we don't wish Jamaica well. We are not wishing on this program. We are looking at the figures, the facts, reality.
We follow the numbers.
Because he's not disputing the numbers, you know. But he's saying, he's talking now that the messengers are, I don't even know where I must say, because I can't say.
So I must tell the people that everything is fine while it is going in the wrong direction. We can't do that.
So you're looking at the fourth quarter. And let me ask you, what about Christmas spending? You don't think, based on Christmas spending and the business people in that survey done by Danans the other day said that consumer confidence is up 3%, 3.2%? And the Christmas, remember, why you think the fourth quarter still going to be a decline?
Well, as Dan said, even the Bank of Jamaica, you know that the Bank of Jamaica said they printed less money in real terms because the economy was declining. The Bank of Jamaica said that before the Christmas. So less money was in circulation during the Christmas in comparison to last year Christmas. Dan said that the people told him that it was just optimism. They thought that the interest rates should have been reduced. The consumers thought they would have gotten more jobs. So if you notice, the jobs numbers came out, not much more jobs were created. So basically, all the business people tell you that the Christmas flop.
So you are saying that with the Christmas spending, that now going to do nothing to give us growth. So it is.
No, the Bank of Jamaica told us that even before Christmas, that they are printing less money because the economy is in decline.
So, Ralston Iman, you were saying that technically the country is in a decline already, weren't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And you still stand by that?
Well, Statin told us that in the second quarter it was 0.2%. That is statistically insignificant. And then in the third quarter, minus 3.5%.
So it's a trend?
Yeah, man. Precisely. It's a trend started from the 10 consecutive quarters of deceleration. So I take time, I go over the gully, I take time, I go over the gully, I take time, I go over the gully. And then Beryl just push it in the gully.
And then just blame everything on Beryl like you never left on the edge already.
Why Planning Institute told us that Beryl was only 1/3, which is true.
So you are saying recession. Yeah, explain to my listeners and viewers, because some people might think that is a good thing. Some people might think, recession not really mean nothing gross. It don't mean not. What does this mean, and what this is going to do to the lives of the ordinary Jamaican and even the big man too?
A recession is 2 consecutive quarters decline in real GDP. It means that less economic activity is taking place. It means that businesses make less profits. It means that people get laid off, and it means that people get poorer, and it means that you have more crime and more domestic violence. Simple.
Does it also mean that your
So they
100
collect less revenues too.
does it also mean that your $100,000 today by March I got value maybe 5% less than what it value now?
Basically, yeah. Because less activity is taking place, they have scarcity.
People,
Yeah?
what may I say to you is that if you are work with $100,000 a month now, in another month or two, the $100,000 now can do it, I don't know.
So I buy $95,000 goods.
There you go. That's what me I said to you.
Firms are going to start lay off people too, because they're not making enough profits. Yeah.
So what is the government saying to the people that, well, you know the problem, Ralston? You know the biggest part of the problem what we have now? The government don't admit that we have a problem.
No.
Because I was just asking you about what are they telling us that they are going to use to fix this. But
no, they have no fix. They have no fix. When the minister comes and cut the capital budget, that is not a fix. That is an exacerbation of the problem.
who is advising the government, Ralston? Somebody on TikTok. Hold on, somebody on TikTok just say, Ralston just the parade attack now till PNP win. He might be a part of the government. Then let me ask you something. No, but
well,
hold on, Ralston. I want to ask them something. If you are on Jamaica and you have a man like this where follow the figures and is a patriot in Jamaica, you wouldn't call him in for work? Tell me if you wouldn't want to use the talent of a Ralston man in a government. Tell me why. Because of the bias. Simple.
Yeah, and for his information, certain people ask me that over and over. Certain people who they might defend ask me that over and over. Remember, 36 years now, I remind him. So he maybe just start listening to them today. I do this for 36 years. Every finance minister has had to deal with me. Including Omar Davis. Yeah.
I'm going to just say to people, at this my respect for Ralston start. Because in a them time, them just a community thing. Me all one time they take Ralston I work for the opposition. Because the man, see him like how Ralston is talking now. And I tell you now all the while, go back and look at my program them from 1993 when we did on Hard Topic. I see him where we talk when the when the party where we align to in power. I saw we talk because our thing is about Jamaica. Our thing is not about PNP and GLP. So if PNP India now the right, expect Ralston Hyman and yours truly Colin Bell to say, we don't think this is right.
Correct. Because Jamaica were defended and subsequent in a recent interview when Omar was asked him say, yo, a lot of the things that he said was right in retrospect when I look back. Yep.
But it's happening right now, Ralston. You are on radio calling it like when Michael Walden used to commentate cricket. Michael Walden could have watched Ambrose bowl. And Ambrose bowl a ball and him tell us say Ambrose has set up this man here. And him tell us say, you see the next ball, Ambrose are going to yak him. You see the next ball, Ambrose yak him.
Yeah, man.
That's how Ralston commentate. Ralston said the thing a decline. See it there. And if this continue, that's going to happen. Boom.
Yeah, man.
That happened.
Because we understand economic theory and we know how to build models and we have the figures.
I hear Adka Fitz-Henley in the Senate yesterday on a point of order to Lambert Brown that their government did not implement $32 billion of new taxes on the people to fund the 1.5.
Well, most we could have said about that is that poor fellow. That's all I can say about that.
But Ralston, you and Marlon Morgan admitted on this program that you told them that if they do it, it was going to cost them $32 billion.
Correct.
And here him excuse now. Him excuse is not the way how it happened, and also you say it did not happen, but it come to the same result. Because him say the IMF decide that them couldn't do it or them want to do it. So I said to him, but do you remember that Ralston was a part of the team who got the IMF deal? So they would have known why not the deal.
Of course.
No, I'm not think so.
And that is why we told the public that they must forget find the $32 billion in taxes because based on the agreements that we have with the IMF, they must find back the money. That is how we get the indirect taxes, the taxes on consumption, the rest of them are collect the word for taxes, tax on gasoline and all of those things, the tax on electricity. That is how those things came about.
So you were a part. So to that person, Ralston was a part of the government at points. And I would want to say to you that I don't see a PNP administration. And this is not coming from the party, no. This does come from me. I don't see a PNP administration operating without Ralston Hyman as one of the advisors. Remember, Ralston was an EPOC, you know.
Yeah, man, I was a fundamental and foundation ranking member of the Economic Program Oversight Committee. We were the ones who negotiated the agreement, the toughest agreement, yeah?
Ralston, hold on. Because in that same interview with Mr. Morgan, him tell me say him no want to talk about between 2007 and 2012.
Yeah, man, I don't know why.
Him say him no want to talk about it, and I leave it. But Ralston, you, because the Prime Minister keep talking about the whole thing started under Bruce Golding. You were a part of the recovery. Give us a synopsis of what happened.
Well, I'm telling you, as I said, in 2007, the economy grew by 3% for the last time. The fiscal deficit was 5%. The net international reserves, 2.4 billion. Inflation was 5%. The debt to GDP was 115. So they got a solid economy from Omar Davies.
That's 2007 when the PNP lost to the GLP, led by Bruce Golding.
Yeah, man. All of them attack. Omar Davies left a sound foundation. Up comes the Great Recession. Them getting a power in September of 2007. The Great Recession started at the end of 2007. Audley Shaw, Ed Bartlett told the people of Jamaica that the recession would help them. When we told them to go to the IMF, Bruce Golding himself said going to the IMF is neither necessary nor appropriate. As a result, they stayed there and dilly-dally until the net international reserves fell to $1 billion. The fiscal deficit, difference between what the government spent and what it earned, was 7.75% of GDP. The overall public sector deficit was 10.75% of GDP. The current account deficit was 18% of GDP, and the debt was 147% of GDP.
Up from 115%.
Yep. When them go to the IMF, them take the wrong agreement. Them take an extended fund facility, a 27-month agreement, standby when you needed an extended fund facility because they completely misread.
Ralston, say that again.
Yeah.
They did what when they go to the IMF?
They took an standby arrangement rather than an extended fund facility. Them fired the only man who knew anything about IMF in that team, Central Bank Governor Derek Latibodiere, in November of 2009.
So in simple term, them go to the IMF and take a bad deal.
Yeah, because them fired the only man amongst them who knew anything about the IMF. Because Audley Shaw never knew about IMF. Dwight Nelson never knew nothing about IMF. My good friend Dan Webber never knew anything about IMF. Derek Latibodiere was the only man who knew anything about IMF. And Audley Shaw fired the man and said 2 bull can't roll in 1 pen.
And when they went to the IMF and they got the deal, continue from there, so for me.
Yeah, in February of 2010, them take a full agreement, a 27-month agreement. Man, them give them $2.4 billion up front. Yeah? And they never did anything that the IMF said them supposed to do. And as a result of that, we were locked out of the international capital market.
So hold on there. When you go IMF loan, do their loan have stipulation? Them tell you what you can do with their money,
of course,
and how you must operate the economy so as to pay them back their money. You are saying that when the GLP took that loan, they could not, or they did not, or they have not done any of
they never did any of the things that they were supposed to do. And Jean Leon, who was the resident rep in Jamaica, Jean Leon was recently the president of the Caribbean Development Bank. When we used to ask Jean, I said, so Jean, want to the IMF agreement? Jean used to say, Ralston, these fellas can't give me anything sensible to take to the board.
So how then Prime Minister Andrew Holness is saying that this financial stability that we enjoyed for some time, because it's not stable anymore, was started under Bruce Golding? Tell me what stage. No. So you are at them can't do the IMF, them never do what the IMF said. Tell me more.
Yeah, man. And we were locked out of the international capital markets. Portia Simpson Miller had to go to people like Maxine Waters.
So hold on, no, that is after so up to when the GLP lost the election.
We never had an IMF agreement and we were locked out of the international capital market. The economy declined by 5%. 100,000 persons lost their jobs.
And debt to GDP was 147%.
Was 147. That's why Marlon don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
Right. So in comes a new PNP administration. Peter Phillips as Minister of Finance, Portia Simpson Miller as Prime Minister, Mark Golding as Justice Minister.
As Justice Minister.
What happened now? Because, all right, we don't have no IMF deal. We don't have no money. The net reserve was what, $1 billion, you say?
$1 billion, yeah.
$1 billion. That could have do about 6 weeks of supplies.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Extra, yeah.
Talk, we know, because you now get involved. PNP, we know, so you get involved.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I was between Portia and Peter. At Peter's right and Portia's left. Right? So Portia went to Maxine Waters. Because everyone said that the truth.
Yeah.
And Maxine Waters and Portia got visit. Then time Christine Lagarde just became the managing director
of the IMF. Yeah.
She was opposed by Augustine Carstens, who was the Mexican central bank governor for the post.
Right.
So me said to Mama P, say, yo, link Christine Lagarde and say, as woman to woman, you need to help Jamaica. So she linked Maxine Waters, another powerful woman of the US.
Yeah.
And then them link Christine Lagarde. That is on Christmas Eve.
So why would it need help? Why Portia have got called somebody? That's how countries operate?
Because the man them say them not deal with it again. Because you take with the IMF money.
Hold on.
Money.
So hold on. We say the man them expel we out of the IMF.
Yeah, man, lock we out of the international capital, not only IMF. If IMF not lending the money, you can't get the money from World Bank or IDB or any other agencies.
So hold on. You are saying that under the GLP administration led by Bruce Golding, later by Andrew Holness, Jamaica was expelled from the world financial market. Can't get the money to borrow over there.
Yeah, man. Now we'll get 5 consecutive downgrades from the same S&P and Moody's that I'm talking about.
5 consecutive downgrade.
Yeah, that's
under Bruce Golding, later Andrew Holness.
Yeah, man.
All right, continue. So Portia now got to beg with the Congresswoman there.
Yeah, Maxine. And them go check Christine Lagarde Christmas Eve and the man them say, all right, we're going to help you out. But we're not going to go through the most punishing agreement that anybody ever get. Because we're going like some bad man down there. So even Greece, who had a higher debt to GDP of 167%. Their primary surplus was 3%, while ours was 7.5%.
So Greece, even owing more, get a better deal.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Because the man ever said, now going like a bad man down there. Yeah. So I showing and teaching a lesson, right? And with them though, the mission chief was Jan Skies Martin. He's a man from the Netherlands. Yeah. The man never smile. Yeah, because he was the man who them sent say, yo, discipline them boy before I make them no sense to behave themselves. Right? So yeah, we got an agreement in May of 2013. So see how long it takes to get the agreement. While the man negotiate, Peter Farwalk with the resignation every day. And Jonas and Ardlishaw, Favor Williams and Arbin Hill I say sign. Yeah?
So all them must have signed. What authority them have? Or they were in opposition at the time. And they were worried about Jamaica not getting a deal.
Yeah, no, and they want to sign any deal. So we have to say no. We have to, although we get a punishing thing, we have to negotiate the thing properly. Yeah. So we never get an agreement until May of 2013, and even then, nobody believes we'll be able to do it.
It took us more than a year to get an agreement from the IMF.
Yeah, man. Because the money must on the program.
Because we were expelled from the IMF and the World Bank and the IDB. All of the international people, agency will lend money. We were expelled from them.
With the money neither, S&P downgraded us 5 consecutive times. Them are Moody's and Fitch.
Yeah.
I say, yo, them boy are going my bad man on this the program. Yeah.
So continue.
So we got the agreement in May of 2013, and that is how EPOC was formed, because nobody never believed so could do it. Based upon what them do. So the man myself, we have to form a committee to make sure we monitor the program. So where the JLP do and all the shot them don't happen again. That is how EPOC was formed. Economic Program Oversight.
This was a committee outside of the governing administration to oversee the operations of government.
Yeah, man.
If you say, yo, the people abandon
Make sure.
belly, you
Yeah.
have to do your part because the previous administration did not do what they were supposed to do. Hence,
Precisely.
the bitter medicine that we were promised.
Yeah, man, I will not going down that road again. Correct.
All right.
So,
Ralston,
With
hold on.
that-
I want to pause this up because there's a question came in. And I want you to explain this. Somebody is saying that in the PNP administration, and I figure they are referring to that 18 years and more so by Omar Davis and PJ Patterson, that the government borrowed money at high interest rate. And therefore, we were running awry after.
but that is foolishness because I'm saying to you, so even though you had that, the debt to GDP ratio was only 115% in 2007, and the economy was growing by 3%. Would dare now try hard to get back to even 2%, much less 3%.
Right. So you were growing at 3% in 2007, borrowing at high interest rate. And let me remind some people, at that time, we were not borrowing from the IMF. We did not have a borrowing. We did not have a borrowing arrangement with the IMF because some people don't remember, Ralston, that back in the day, the IMF was a different posture from what it is now.
Yeah, man. I was paid off the IMF in 1995. We never went back to the IMF until the JLP went back to the IMF.
So, and that time, what was that leaving the IMF? What was that meant to Jamaica at the time?
It meant that you had sovereignty over your macroeconomic policy, so you could pursue the policies that you wanted to pursue. And it turned out well because, as I said, that was the last time the economy grew by 3%. Inflation was only 5%, which inflation now is 5% now. Yeah, inflation at that time was 5%. So we're getting back to where we were.
Ralston, that was the time, when we start building the highways in Jamaica,
Yeah, man.
Highway 2000, North Coast Highway. That was the time when Greater Portmore and those places were built,
Yeah, man, and all of those hotels, Rui and
all of the Spanish chain that came to Jamaica came in that period of time.
Correct, yeah, man.
So yeah, there might be loans at high interest rate, but it was because at that time when you borrow the money, there you have full operation opportunity over it.
And the overall macroeconomic situation was better. That's the point I'm making here. So it's a foolish point that because the debt to GDP, you talk about higher rates, the debt to GDP was lower at that time than the 147%, which it reached.
They are saying, Ralston, they are saying that the debt to GDP is now about 70%, so it's much lower now.
No, yeah, but I'm comparing it with the period of 2012 when we got locked out of the market.
Right. Oh, we got it and where we brought it back to.
Yeah, man. I remember it was Phillips who brought it from 147 to 120.
When the GLP got it, it was 115.
Yeah. Right.
In 2016. Yeah.
Yep. And they never did much because one of the things that people must know is that in 2017, the definition of the debt was changed and the Bank of Jamaica debt was taken out. That caused the debt to fall to about 80%. You follow me?
Following your teacher. Following you. So somebody is saying that the IMF back in the day used to be operated by the United States and used to punish their political enemies, which...
Yeah, man, it was used as a political weapon and it is still operated by the United States. That's why when people ever talk the foolishness about Clark can get special deal for Jamaica, we tell them say foolishness. The man who control the IMF is the Undersecretary for International Foreign Affairs, a man named Jake Samba. Yeah? They tell the IMF what to do.
When to do.
Me? And that, yep. So if you notice that the IMF sent Clark to Kenya, so how to come on and to do things for Jamaica? Rubbish. Rubbish. If you notice, I'm not telling people that. Them send Clark to Kenya.
I don't understand now, Ralston. How is it that this government is going to recover from where we are, not admitting that there is a problem?
Yeah, man. If I were the new finance minister, my first presentation would be that we have to, well, the Prime Minister said it, pivot. Yeah? So if I was the finance minister, I would say Yeah, we're pivoting. It means that we have to fully spend the capital budget. I'd call upon the banks to reduce the interest rates to provide some stimulus to the economy, because that's what the economy needs right now. Instead, they are going in the opposite direction. They are sucking more blood rather than providing more blood to the economy. So it's bad economic management. You can't recover if you do that.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
So,
whoa.
Yep. So things are going to get much worse going forward.
And I'm still at the point, Ralston. I'm still at the point where the government is not admitting anything wrong.
Yeah, I know. But if you are in denial, all the problem is going to get worse.
That is why I'm on the point, because that is my concern. This is Jamaica. And if the economy get worse, it will affect you, it will affect me, it will affect all of us. And if we have a government in place that fails to admit that there's a problem, then what makes it worse? They will not seek any solution.
Right, and that is what is happening. The Bank of Jamaica intervened in the foreign exchange market twice last week. First, they intervened with $40 million. The market wanted $85 million. That was the Friday. They came back the Monday with another $40 million. The market wanted $61.72 million. Then they had to come back on Wednesday with a fixed rate CD for $6.5 billion. And the dollar still closed at $157 and change. The foreign exchange market is under extreme pressure because we're not producing and generating in the foreign exchange. And based on the mass deportation policies to be pursued by the Donald, it means that we're in deeper trouble because the remittance flows are not going to hold up.
So how we are going to move from this? So?
Precisely. And another point, the Donald says again that they will not be funding the World Health Organization. They're taking a look at all the international organizations that they are funding. So we have to reduce our dependence on the IMF, reduce our dependence on the World Bank, reduce our dependence on WHO. So we have to find ways to strengthen the economy, not weaken the economy. What the minister is doing is weakening the economy and reducing our ability to deal with the storms that are going to come from the policies that are being pursued by the Donald. They don't know what they're doing.
And then
they have no global perspective.
And then when do you expect the starting report on the fourth quarter?
We expect PIOJ to come out somewhere in the next week or two, and then starting maybe in the first week of February. Because starting goes out and actually measure, should it take longer than the PIOJ who does some forecasting.
So when the PIJ normally come forward with their numbers?
I'm saying that you might see it in another week or two.
I wonder if they're afraid for forward.
Well, we're watching them, and then starting will come like in the first week of February.
The banks are not moving, Ralston.
No, that is why the governor now says he's going to take them to court.
When I'm a listener, when I'm a viewer is asking, Sir Ralston, do you have any books on the Jamaican economy over the years so that the young generation can read more information? Any books? Anybody writing? Anybody documenting all of this?
Yeah, man. There were things done by people like Witter and Gervan, Norman Gervan, Mikey Witter, and all of those things. And then can always visit the various websites. So that's another thing. Starting can tell you a whole lot about the economy. Time series going back. Bank of Jamaica can tell you a whole lot about the economy. Time series going back. The same Planning Institute. Because we work with the data from the official agencies. Yeah?
So
because the so-called analysts and the politicians, they are not using data from the various agencies. We work with the agencies, the official agencies.
So hear this now. Looking ahead, Ralston, what do we do?
We need a change of strategy or a change of government. It's just as simple as that.
And when you get that change, what is the framework? What does the framework looks like?
Well, the next administration, whoever it is, will have to spend more on capital, slow the pace of debt reduction, spend more on capital, fix up about the country's roads and all of those things.
When you say slow the pace of debt reduction, because you have a whole heap of people here that know them say, see it there. What does that mean? Clarify that for me. Slow the pace of debt reduction.
Well, we're supposed to reach 60% by the year 27, 28. Clark said we want to do that by the year 25, 26. That is why they are doing what they are doing now. So money that them should spend on capital, them use it on service the debt, right? Other countries in the world, like UK and all of them places there, some of them say, well, we're not dealing with 60%. Some of them say they might be later. Like Barbados, I said 2035 before we're doing 60%.
So Barbados have extended their deadline.
Yeah, man. 2035. And Barbados grew by 4% in the first 6 months of this year. Jamaica grew by 0.8%.
So the Minister of Finance say if you slow the pace of debt reduction,
the place of a crash.
What hell would broke loose? Everything would go in a tailspin.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that, Ralston. The minister said so.
That is total rubbish because you can get the 60% in different ways. Remember, debt to GDP is a ratio, you know? So you can either grow the economy faster or you can focus on the debt. What they have been doing is focusing on the debt and slowing down the economy. What you need to do is to focus on the economy, and then the debt will fall as a percentage of the economy.
So
that's
you
what
are
they're supposed to do.
So you are saying that this government, and I am joining you in saying that this government have no intention to grow the economy.
No, because as
there's
I said
no
before,
growth
the
plan.
economy has been decelerating for 10 consecutive quarters before the declines that we are seeing now. So very little growth has been recorded underneath this government. Remember, the thing with COVID-19 was recovery.
And
so
we recover,
yeah.
and we recover, and then we start slowing down, and now we are declining.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
So we go up on the top of the hill, and now we are heading back down.
Because there are no policies to sustain it. Remember, you have to sustain it, you know. Yeah.
So we're talking about the framework. Slow the pace of debt reduction.
Yeah, man. Focus on things like agriculture, accelerated land reform, land titling, irrigation. They integrate tourism more with the agricultural sector, with the creative sector, with the manufacturing sector. Yeah. Fix the roads, fix the bridges that are supposed to be fixed, train the country's labor force. If you notice, even with the labor force survey, unemployment 3.5%, unemployment gone up by 1%, so the whole thing cancel out and still have the same people about the same work. 200,000 people are selling on road and a wash car. 265,000 people are working with such in the real estate, in the wholesale business. Yeah, 201,000 people in the agricultural sector. So the composition of the labor force has not changed, and the unemployment rate remains constant, and you're not getting any value. So
how much people in agriculture?
201,000
in agriculture.
Yeah, man.
And we have 250,000 registered farmers. So that sounds like we have a large amount of farmers who are not farming anymore either.
Yeah, we'll give up because agriculture is too hard based on where I go on. The problem with the rural road network, the problem with the lack of mechanization, the problem with the irrigation, the problem with their import things are coming upon them. All of those things have to deal with.
So if a government or if an administration, I should say, want to get serious and start pushing, well, the capital budget, they have been cutting it. So spend the capital budget.
You can't do that. You can't continue to do that.
Is it a level of incompetence inside the Ralston where you get money to spend in a country that the infrastructure is falling apart, but you're still unable to even spend the budget to start fixing the problem? Is that a level? Is there a level of incompetence?
Yeah, man. It's incompetence. Them not understand macroeconomic policy or macroeconomic theory. Yep. So all of this thing where them are boots up about Clark was this and Clark was that. In clueless. And this minister even more clueless than him.
The Prime Minister Ralston, the Prime Minister said that the Auditor General, in a speech he made, responding to the Auditor General's findings on the new social housing project, and that there are a lot of overlap and duplication. And the Auditor General spoke to 677.7 million and 3.4 billion. That's about 4 billion. The Prime Minister said he did not spend 3.4 billion. And he said that don't put down to malice what could be incompetence or ignorance.
Yeah, well, the Prime Minister has to be careful. He's developing a reputation of attacking all the agencies in the country that are dealing with accountability. Yep, the Integrity Commission, the Auditor General, yeah.
I am
So he
of
must
the
be careful. That's the reputation that he's developing.
So, is it a situation where once you criticize the Prime Minister, you will come in for his whip?
Yeah, man. I talk more than him have to mind how him set up the people and when him go and talk to the political following and tell them and give the impression that those people are fighting against him.
He
Yeah,
used
must be
term
careful.
like, why would this project be attacked?
Yeah, man.
Is that
It's a part of the
acceptable coming from the Prime Minister?
No, man. It's a part of the desperation. Him desperate. So him go around and talk all of them fools to say we're not borrowing while them are borrow every day. And anybody who asks for accountability, him get it, in following them, the mad people, them, the impression say them people are fighting against him, not knowing that him could set up the people in life when they matter them thing there. What they need to do is to become accountable because everybody know about the loose accountability that is taking place. The whole world know that.
But remember, the same Auditor General said that she can't sign off on the financials from the Office of the Prime Minister to the tune of over $10 billion for the last 3 years.
Yeah, man. That's the point I'm making. So in giving the impression that he's against accountability and they have to be careful. So when he go on a political meeting there, all that, him should talk about that in the parliament or just the auditor say, when he got them political meeting there and call up the people them name and talk them to me. I set up the people them. So you must be careful what you do. What you need to do is if you are accountable, then the people them would not say them to you. Auditor General in politics, you know, no reason to fight against the government. Yes? Because she put out her reports them year after year after year after year. You might only Prime Minister will take them thing that way they are carried on political platform. You must be careful.
Is it that the Prime Minister have too much under his direct supervision?
In my one of the main reasons why the economy not grow, the office of the Prime Minister is like a blockage, is like a plug. Because him now have certain competence level and him take on too much thing. Because the Prime Minister is not very competent, particularly in relation to economics. And him take on everything. Like that he's a one-man government. We're not afraid to say that. He's a kind of Siaga style, but remember, Mr. Siaga was very competent. Mr. Siaga is far more competent than Andrew Wallace. I try to be like Mr. Siaga and him not have that kind of competence level.
Now, Ralston, as we look at the framework, the question I was about to ask you that when I switched to something else was an administration coming to power and decide to be deliberate about investing in our agriculture, growing agriculture, investing in culture and the creative industry, and spending on the country's infrastructure. Where would that money come from in a recession?
Well, as I said before, you have to slow the pace of debt reduction. Yeah? So you get some extra money from that.
So hold on. If we do that this year and pay what we're supposed to pay, that would be about $4 billion.
Yeah, but but remember I said that was a snapshot in point up to November. Yeah? So the figure changes with each passing month. Yeah. So what the first thing our administration would have to do, as the governor said.
So hold on, let me understand. So it could be overall for the year, it could be 120 billion. Precisely.
It's a dynamic situation. Remember, every month the money come in. Okay. Depends on the amount of taxes will come in and depends on the amount you spend, and then you have that.
So obviously the government have a percentage over where them supposed to pay, where them are paid.
All right. The primary surplus this year is almost 7%. That is what I said. So after we make all of these tremendous sacrifices, the workers make the sacrifice and all of that, the primary surplus is still at the same level at which Peter Phillips got it after we bring the debt to GDP down to 70%. That is stupidity. Barbados primary surplus at 2.5%. And they have a debt to GDP of 115%.
How much is ours?
Yeah?
And how much is ours?
7.
So we still carry the IMF deal where we don't need to carry.
Precisely.
So how much could we bring it down to?
Well, we believe that a primary surplus of 4.5% of GDP. And so we push out the thing to hit the 60% to 28, 29 or part of the 2030 vision.
Yeah.
Would that make more sense? That would be a better thing.
So let's say we bring it down to 4.5%, coming from 7%. That means we'd have an extra 2.5%.
That GDP, you know how much money that?
Tell me.
That's a 75 billion additional dollars. That.
75 billion. So you're saying that there's fiscal space to be deliberate about growth in the country. Pumping some money in some something. Make some something happen. Start produce some something. Start export more something. And earn more from export. Eh?
Growth have to be the strategy. So the finance minister, when she come in at me, was she, but I said, growth is my strategy. And this is what we're going to do to accelerate growth. She started off on the wrong footing. That's the point I'm making here. Stupidity.
Me I take notes, you know. I school me there. Man. So me I take so sometimes I write, because me I take my notes because where people are going like say the economy have to manage how it are manage. And what we are saying, we are going in the wrong direction.
Yep.
Ralston has been saying it. I have been in agreement because I see it, but me are not analyst. So that's why I lean upon Ralston understanding and knowledge, and also to educate you, my listeners and viewers. I thank the item for being here every Saturday morning. But we want to be sure that people know what is happening. People understand what your vote means when the next election is called. It can't mean 5,000 and 10,000 and 2 sheet of zinc and 7 sheet applied. It can't mean that. It have to mean the future of this country.
You're talking about children and your grandchildren's future.
Yes, you're talking about Jamaica. Well, and you're also talking about Jamaica when you reach 70, if God bless you. Jamaica, if you run good for you, live good at 70. If God, when God bless us and we reach them ages. So we are looking at our future too. A future when we are not as agile and mobile as we are now. To be living in this Jamaica. So understand it is not just for your children and your children. Children is for you. If God bless you and you live well. We have to grow the economy.
Growth have to be the strategy.
And Ralston, I know you hear me upon this all the while, but I'm so upset and disappointed that the government squander $11.4 billion.
That should have gone to agriculture.
Just throw it up in the year. Just throw it up in the year and say everybody grab a 20,000.
Right. So look on this now. Simple. So them give 11.4 billion and then cut the capital budget by 19 million. You tell me so them people have sense?
What can go so? Say that again, Ralston.
Them cut the capital budget by 19 billion and then gave away 11 billion. The capital budget, we have the argument about teaching a man to fish.
Yes.
That he can go fish for himself.
Yes.
So them low. Rather than teach you to fish for yourself, them have you dependent on them with 11.4 billion.
Or create an environment where you can fish.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Yeah.
Jesus. $11.4 billion. A whole heap of money that, you know?
Cheap politics. I mean, remember, so them cut the capital budget by 19. Them should have add that to 11 on the capital budget if you really want something. And yes. The country and move.
And spend it, not just add it to it, but add it to it and spend it. Because the major part of the problem, Jamaica, we all want to see the government do. The government decide this year that they would take about 19 billion out of what they had planned to spend. While your roads are still bad, your schools are leaking, your police station are leaking like strainer. There's a police station in Port Antonio, in Ralston. When rain fall, I chew it the rainfall, you know.
Yeah, man. You have a thing in economics called the multiplier. I listen to this carefully.
Yes. So
when them cut spending by 19 billion, it not means 19 billion, you know. You have to multiply that 19 by 1.3, so it end up like $28 billion. The multiplier work backwards and forward. If you had invested it, you'd get 23 billion or so. If you just spend it, you're cut by 23 billion.
So there is
we call it the multiplier because capital spending have a multiplier effect on the economy.
So when you're cut by 19, you have to multiply it by 1.5?
Yeah, that's Jamaica's multiplier, yeah.
Right. And if you spend 19, you still multiply it by 1.5 because you'll get back 1.5 more upon it.
It works both ways, yeah, man.
Right. So, my listeners and my viewers, me open to understand.
I hear what work now. Let me explain it to you so that them can understand. So I spent 19 billion, say for example, on a road. Yeah? Remember the man who down in the river I draw the sand and I throw up on the truck. The truck man I go buy more gasoline, you know. You follow me? I said to you?
Yes.
He might buy more gas oil. Yeah? Yeah?
So it's more
Jamaican man love
spending in
drink
the
and
economy.
so you see what I talk about the multiplier effect. The shopkeeper get more money, the man who sell Guinness get more money, the weed man get more money because man I want bun a split. The gas station man get more money, the gas station man employ more people. Yeah? The gas station man pay taxes. So it means more for everybody. So you get more than 19 billion.
You mentioned something there. Income for the government fall in what, the last quarter?
Yeah, man. No, between April and November, revenues dropped by 7.29 billion because of the decline in the economy.
Ooh.
And here what the revenue is 6.4 billion in GCT.
So that means, hold on, 6.4 million in G.
Billion, man. Government not deal with millions.
Sorry, no, man. That makes me mix up the B. 6.4 billion from GCT. That means
the
goods.
People are consume less. People are buying less food. More people are hungry. Yeah.
And people are buying more just rice and flour and sugar.
Yeah.
Where no GCT, no depend.
Yeah. Right. Payroll taxes fall. It means that people are lose jobs. And you see the thing we are going about people are lose jobs. Yeah.
No, but if payroll taxes are drop, it means people who will the higher job them, and the people where with a historical low in unemployment. Mats out that for me.
Yeah, so I tell you that in some instances people are losing work. So you notice the underemployment rate gone up. So them people who are underemployed, them not paying the taxes.
Oh.
Them below the tax threshold, because there's also them money hustling on the street and them something.
We're talking to Ralston Iman, talk show host on Power 106, host of Real Business. Power 106 every weekday, Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. And Ralston is the number one, the top financial analyst in this side of the world. Ralston,
yeah, man.
We're looking at the future of this country. And we're looking at a situation where the country, you called it, is technically in a recession.
Correct.
And people who want to wait by about the middle of February, starting should be out with their figures.
Right.
We expect the PIOJ to be out in a couple of weeks.
By the end of this month, yeah, man.
To basically tell us exactly what. But the man who follow the figure most and best in Jamaica is saying it to you now. Prepare yourself.
Yeah, man. Prepare.
Ralston, do you believe that there are forces who are going to try and obscure these numbers? You expect any interference with the numbers by people who want to do that for political biasness one way or the other?
Well, they'll try, but we still have respect for the credibility of Dr. Wayne Henry and Richard Biles and the team at Statin. So we're waiting with bated breath to hear what they're going to say, because they can't afford to damage their credibility because of politics. So let's see what happens.
And that report of lower income of our $700 billion, that report came when? When did that report come?
That came out about 2 weeks ago. So people can just go up on the Ministry of Finance website and look on it. I don't think it's available. Just go up on Google and type in Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Type in Central Government Operations Table. And you see the numbers come up. Those things are not hidden things.
Because those are not your numbers.
No,
those are the government numbers. And what you do is consistent in following the government numbers.
Follow them.
And that's why you talk like how you talk.
Yeah, because based on the credibility I've developed over the years, them send them things to me. So as them release them, send it to me.
Which is right.
Yeah, because of professional people and professional people. Yeah.
All right, Ralston. Budget is due in a couple of months. What kind of budget you expect if the budget is read before election? What kind of budget you expect?
2 options. It's either the budget was smaller than last year or they might end up borrowing more. Simple.
So
and that will shut the argument about not borrowing. Yep.
So the budget is now at 1.38 trillion. And you are saying is either it's going to be smaller and 1.38 trillion and they're borrowing over what, 260 billion.
Yeah, man.
Right. And you're saying
they go over that, they have to borrow more because the revenues are not holding up.
But how much longer can we go though, Ralston, without cranking up some growth measures in this country? How long?
Well, I tell you, I mean, it's difficult to say how long because what I say, we're on the brink of a recession now. If them continue the current direction, the recession will get more protracted, more people will get laid off, firms are going to start disinvest. And that is why it is important that them get the banks now to reduce interest rates because you can't have tight fiscal policy and monetary policy at the same time. It's strangling the economy. So them are tight in fiscal policy and the BOJ are tight in monetary policy and the commercial banks now lend the money. And you're not getting foreign direct investments because under the dollars regime and the remittances now coming. So every source block right now. So the onus is on the government to stimulate the economy. And the minister now did a stimulation and she said she are cut instead, which is bad at this point. You can't cut in a recession.
You can't cut in a recession. So that comes to my point. But Ralston, that comes to my point when I said to you, say, we are in for a raw deal because the government is not accepting that there is a problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so the people after that's like a tough time. Yeah, man. And they have to tell them what they need to do.
Anything else you want to leave with my listeners and viewers this morning, Ralston?
Well, all I can say to them, say, the data is available, so you can just, all of them have smartphones. So just go in on Google, type in BOJ, and you see the BOJ website come up, all of the numbers come up in front of you. Similarly, statin, go in on Google, just type in statin, and you see the numbers coming up on you. Same thing, PIOJ, just type in PIOJ in Google, and you see all of the numbers come up. The numbers are not hiding. Politicians and the PR people that them have decided not to give the people the numbers, but the numbers are available from the official government agency. BOJ, Statin, and PIOJ are official government agencies.
My brother.
So you can see the numbers for yourself.
We have to keep the fire burning. We have to keep the fire burning. We hear a lot of people calling on the banks now to reduce interest rate.
Yeah, man. The banks sit on $1.7 trillion of our deposits, So if them free up some of them deposits for projects and them things, then the economy can grow. If them cut the interest rate, the stock market will move faster because the government itself says it have certain assets that they want to divest. Them have like 82 billion assets in a Port Authority of Jamaica, another 10 billion in a Trans-Jamaican Highway. Them have 20% of JPS. Those things are not going to move if the interest rates still stay high. So that's another source of revenue for the government, the divestment of some of those agencies.
Kirk is asking what kind of growth? What kind of growth? Jamaica not only 3.5 million people with nothing to sell. So what you meaning, Kirk? If we can grow, we don't have 3.5 million people neither.
Yeah, but we have to create things to sell. We have agriculture things to sell. We have agro-processing things to sell. We don't have none to sell now because we're not focused on production. We have to produce them before we can sell them.
And
we have to start with production.
And let me tell Kirk, I've been telling you here for many years, we can sell culture.
Yeah, man.
Culture is a big product.
Yeah, man. Culture, sports, food.
And that's why, and me I'm going to make my shameless plug now, that's why the PNP is the best option. Because we have plans to sell culture. We have plans to feed ourselves, and we have plans to fix the country's infrastructure.
The logistics hub, all those things.
Yeah. So, my brother, big up yourself.
All right, blessings. Yeah, man.
Respect, man. Ralston.
All right, blessings.
One love.
Yeah, man. Cool. Bless.
804-7072. We take all of your calls, them. You just got a lesson on Jamaica's economy. We can overcome. We can. And we shall overcome. There are many ways to do things and different things. Yeah. You can drive fast and you can drive slow and you can drive medium pace. No, Kirk, my friend, I'm telling you all the while. Not because we are 3 million people. We are very talented. We are a very talented nation. Talent is expensive, yo. That is what a lot of Jamaicans and Jamaican administration have missed over many years. Use our talent. I was told in school as a little boy. We were told that our people are our biggest asset. Let me see you create now so I can be convinced you all can do anything. Well, let me tell you something, brother. The time has come. And as I've been telling you right here, I've been telling you all that it is the culture and the creative industry that can turn Jamaica around in one term. One term. Within 5 years, we can structure the culture and the creative industry in a way that within that 5 years, we start grow this economy 3%, 4%. And in 7, 8 years, we should be at a steady 5% growth, fluctuating between 5 and 7%. When we build out the culture and the creative industry, build out the infrastructure, sort out the packaging, and get the export going, creating thousands of new millionaires on this island through the culture and the creative industry. Any Jamaican on this platform, the most people who you know of Jamaica were rich, who are millionaires, the most of them are our creatives, our sportsmen, our artists, all of that. The visual and the performing arts, music, sports, education, food. You're talking about your hairdressers, your barbers, your stylists, your designers, your choreographer. All of them people are part of the creative industry. And what you do, you turn your culture into entertainment, to an entertainment product. And you package that and you export that to the world. And you will make billions. The industry is valued at over $3.4 billion. Jamaica, we have been blessed with a lot of the resources necessary to do it. The resources that we don't have, we bring them in, we can buy them. And that is where government comes in to create the environment. But then you have to know what to do. And what is happening now is that we have a People's National Party team with a set of people on it, including myself, who knows what to do to get this creative industry going. And that's why you see Popcorn and Vibes Cartel, because the PNP has always believed in our artists and sports people, you know. And that's why sports grow under PNP. Entertainment grow under PNP because we believe in it. But we are now at a stage where we know how now to make the billions from it and to grow this economy. And that's the difference with the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. We have a growth agenda. Julian Robinson was at the stock exchange event the other day. And he was asked how we're going to grow, or we're going to move this economy from this low growth, low income, low tech. And he explained to them logistics, agriculture, the culture and the creative industry, inclusive. So, that is where we are. On the other side, you still have an administration who don't believe that there is a problem. And if you don't admit that you have a problem, then you're not going to attempt to fix it. You're not going to attempt to fix the problem if you don't admit it. And the major issue, the danger to the Jamaican economy and to the Jamaican people right now is the fact that we have an administration who, in the middle of a technical recession, is telling us that they have managed the economy so well, that no need for worry. No need to worry. Because they have managed the economy so well. And I'll go and look. Oh, this so. Yes. I'll go and look if I can make you hear the minister talking about how well the economy has been managed.
We are presenting a supplementary report for fiscal year 2024-25 that provides for total expenditure over the fiscal year of $1.386 billion. And we are $1.386 trillion. We're putting forward a budget for the rest of this year that includes all the months of the fiscal year that have passed to March, the end of March 2025. We're putting forward a budget that reflects a lot of thought, and it reflects a government that is careful about spending for the country and is careful about ensuring that the finances of the country go to the right place. I want to say as well that in thinking about where we are, if you look back over the past few years, we can say that we've recovered from COVID. We can say that we've recovered from the Category 4 Hurricane Beryl that devastated the agricultural sector. That was followed by Tropical Storm Rafael. And shortly thereafter, we had above normal rainfall, as was indicated by the Prime Minister earlier today. We've come through all of that. And there's only one word I have to describe the economy of Jamaica, the people and businesses of Jamaica, and that word is resilient. We are a resilient nation, a resilient people, and to have come through all of that and present yet another budget that meets the fiscal rules, I want to say to everyone, this government has been performing and this government is being prudent with the financial resources of this country.
You're listening
In summary, because I know that the hour is long.
You're listening to Favor Williams, Minister of Finance, and putting forward that they are managing well. Managing well. Being prudent when we are digging in a recession. We have to understand where we are as a people. Let me make certain we have this phone line at home so we can take your calls. Because we see a lot of people challenging a lot of things, saying a lot of things. But, you know the truth? If you're having a cold and you tell yourself you're all right, some people believe that the mind is powerful enough to make you all right. But hear me now. If you have cancer and you don't find it early, or you don't deal with it early, then it can be detrimental. We have to start recognizing as Jamaica that our economy is in trouble. We've been saying it a long time, enough people vex when we say it. But if I saw it go, I saw it go. The economy is in trouble. 804-7072. We're taking your calls. 804-7072. Resilient achieve when given the opportunity. GLP administration is a non-performance government. You get it? Trickle-down economy. It doesn't work for anyone. It doesn't work for any society. Look at what's happening in the United States. Let me take a call. Poor getting poorer. That happened at Jamaica too. Morning.
Morning, Sir Bill.
Welcome.
Mr. Warren City writing on the wall, sir.
You do what?
And you want to see the writing on the wall.
And what that mean?
It seems allowed all the government shares them not so a chance 20 billion, there's no chance.
You know what?
Chance company will deal with the road,
Hey.
deal with toll road them.
Yeah.
You see sell it out last week, 20 billion.
Sell out Trans Highway.
Yeah, the government share.
Oh?
Yeah.
For him to sell it to local people?
20 billion. No, to international people.
What was it put on the stock market?
Yeah, it was put on the stock market. Yeah, it's stick, but I must oversee people.
Yeah, but if it go up on the stock market, that means anybody can buy it.
Yeah, but you know that those things go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we understand. But
Most of those companies.
If you give local people the opportunity, you give them. You can't force a man to buy, or you can't stop another man from buying.
But those kind of things. If you check the brokers them and check who buy those stock from the brokers them, just check them. A lot of them are fine people.
Go again.
That's why a place like Mayberry, Berita, they have an international market.
Right, and what me just have said to you that local people can buy. So when the government float it in the stock market, then it's for all of us who wants to buy, who don't want to buy, you know. So
yeah, but as I'm saying, the average Jamaican not going to benefit from it.
Yeah,
America.
The average Jamaican don't buy stocks and bonds.
Right. So, and why I say that, in the past 6 months, you know how many of the government shares was selling?
Yeah, man, they float a lot of government paper. It's not some of them are not necessarily shares, you know. Government just float an instrument and say, buy this and you get this percent of interest over a certain amount a year. And because it's government, people have confidence in it. And people buy it. Have you ever bought government paper?
No.
And that's why I said to you, the average Jamaicans don't buy stocks and bonds.
I buy shares, but not in the government.
And yeah, because sometimes the government shares, the government paper is not always out there, you know. Sometimes none of it there. So sometimes when it float, we don't have no money. I bought government paper once.
Yeah. But anytime your government starts to sell a lot of their earning for a loan sum, that means that government in some trouble.
Yeah, government is borrowing. If you're not producing, you are going to be borrowing heavily. Because most of the time your income from taxes and stuff like that can't match up to your needs. So the budget is 1.38 trillion. We're getting a trillion from where we can muster for ourselves. The other 3 trillion, 3.8 million that comes, not million, sorry, 3.8 billion that will come in borrowing and grants and different maneuverings.
Yeah.
You know? So the problem we have, my brother, is that we're not producing, and we have to start producing.
Yeah. This government more deal.
The PNP have a solution. The PNP have some things that we go and invest in to grow the economy.
Yeah, man.
All right, my boss.
If you think about the food we import, right? And if we produce some of them locally for our market, right? We're much better.
But that's
first of all,
that's one of the things that we are looking at. We want to cut the food importation bill by 25% in our first term.
Right. Because the more when you provide the thing locally, you get a fresher food. Everything is fresher. Everything is much better what your people needs. The less foreign exchange you have to buy these things. So you say your country being a better off.
Of course. But sadly, we don't have a government who have any plans to invest in anything, to grow anything. Remember, we were promised 5% growth in 4 years, you know. And to date, they have not gotten to 2%. In fact, we are now declining after 9 years. 3.5% decline. So maybe we're getting to the 5% on the other side.
I have a friend coming to Jamaica to live, and I tell him, don't buy a house in Kingston. Go in that country and buy some property and build a house man.
Yeah.
And the farming on it. You go much better off. And I show him a farm where we have a brethren plant 5,000 head a tomato.
Okay.
And when I read, I'm saying, okay, I couldn't believe it.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, my brother, thanks much for the call.
Yeah, man. Man. All right.
804-7072. We're taking your calls on Portland Spice TV. Had an extensive discussion with Ralston Iman early this morning. If you miss it, go back, go watch it right here on Portland Spice TV. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, we invite you to subscribe, like, and share the channel. Yeah, man. And support the video them, like up the video them, share the video them. People claim corruption, but can't prove it in court. I don't know. Well, I now follow your discussion, Kirk, so I don't understand that one day. But if we not start produce, and the people have to get serious though. People have to get serious. But I believe that leadership dictates that where we are now, some deliberate actions be taken. I want to address an issue. Because this is one of the things we bring in a them problem here. We have a lot of leaders, politicians, MPs and councillors who have never heard their plans in public. You're holding a public office. You want to represent the public, but you don't talk to the public. Now I'm calling on the people of Jamaica coming up in this general election. We have a lot of platforms all across Jamaica now. Whole heap of people who have program on YouTube. Albert, call me upon the next number, 804-7072. We have a lot of platforms in Jamaica. And I am saying that every candidate going into the next election should make themselves available. Design a platform for yourself. If you don't want nobody interview, you don't want to go on nobody platform. But you must be available to the public for question and answers. You must be available to the public to come forward, put out your plans them, and have people ask you questions about your plan them. Oh, you want to be this public person, represent people. Both sides, because once you become MP, you represent everybody. But you don't want to come with your plans. You don't want nobody ask you no question in the public. I am calling for that now to change immediately. And I'm calling on the Jamaican people to not support a candidate who refuse to make themselves available for public discourse. Go up on RGR, then go to Emily Shields, come Yasso, go to Andre Stevens, go to Ratty, go whole heap of people out there with them platform. Me not tell you to go up on a platform where I'm going to disrespect you. If you don't want to do that, set up something, set up a channel, be on it. Everybody have social media platform. Do a live and take questions from the people. So me a call up on the fourth estate right now, which is social media and mainstream media, to start demand these presents. Morning, my friend.
My brother calling about now.
I am doing well, and I'm making a call, Albert. I don't know if you agree with me, that every candidate going into the next general election must make themselves available in the media for public discourse. You must come to the public, tell us your plan, and you must take questions. You must talk to the public. You want to represent the public. You're going for a public office. There must be public discourse. What do you think?
But that call that you're making, I think is germane to the party, because I think that there's a thing that every representative should have community meeting in their constituency and tell them what they're all about. But in particular, right?
But you're one of the problem,
I
Albert.
mean,
you're one of the problem why make this call. You have a lot of people that not going to go to a political meeting. PNP call a meeting, Labour right now go. Labour right call a meeting, PNP now go. With the social media space that we have now and mainstream media, I am saying every candidate must make themselves available.
Leave out mainstream media. I can understand talk about social media. Because mainstream media, if them not make money, them not really, really interested.
But people would listen. So
unless
leave them out.
No. Well, you mean go like on the call-in program?
Whichever one. Do an interview. Right. Make people where your people, your constituents must be able to ask your questions on your plans where you put forward to them.
I don't have a problem with that, but you see, you have the mouthpiece for the greeners them that them cut and splice and carry them thing too. So
yeah, man,
I think that if you run a public office, just make yourself available to the public.
Yes, man. And I am even going forward, Albert, to say to them that do a live on your social media then. and allow people to call in and ask you
I
questions.
don't have a problem. Put it this way, Shaka. I surrender to you. You know more about those things than me. All I'm saying that they must be available
Yes.
to the public in whatever form they can. You know the detail more than me.
All right, Albert. You
But
never
anyway,
called me
Shaka,
about that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I wake up this morning and I have to walk around because I think I was still dreaming. As you know, I was away,
Yeah.
right? And I say to some of my colleagues, them, there's a particular platform that I am on. There's a whole lot of labor rights. I will share views and I decide that I'm not going to do anything there again. I just make my views known, but whatever them say, because they are mixed and fixed like concrete.
Who that?
But what is surprising to me, Shaka, I realize, and there's no doubt, that the GLP have no respect for Jamaican people. Zero respect. Zero respect.
Why you say that?
When I saw a post that the General Secretary, Orius Chang, said Carl Samuda is rethinking his position to run back.
When that
What
come
can
out?
go so?
When that come out, Albert? We never hear that.
I can send it to you. Yes, in an interview with the Gleaner,
Yesterday?
he told, well, I saw it this morning, so it could be yesterday. He told them that Carl Samuda is rethinking his position to run back. No. Then them no can dress up somebody in a buster outfit and make him run.
Carl Samuda. Oh, but Carl Samuda was the man who heard and read that him resign, no?
Same one.
Oh. That man, yeah, him say him here upon the radio, say him resign. But you are saying that he wants to run back.
No, not Comrade Albert Gray say so. I read it where the Gen Sec, Orius Chang said so, that he's rethinking his decision because there's no front runner for his constituency.
Christopher Campbell say yes, it's in the Gleaner.
All right.
But Albert, seriously? But Carl still got parliament?
Well, Shaka, that is total disrespect. You have an old fogey that can't even walk. And you want to present him back to the people for what?
Well, the people should know what the people should know.
Just to collect taxpayer money.
But the people should know what to do about that. People need to start understanding themselves and understand that your vote is vital to the continuation of humanity in your country. A vote is vital.
You know what they did in Westmoreland? The woman beater. They select him as the candidate and then tell him he must apply to the JLP now to become member. Remember them with such experiment? No.
You're talking about
Shaka.
You're talking about that man with the stool beating the lady in the video?
CM stool man that sit over our side because he's no more labor right. He's an independent man that sits on our side.
But you're the problem.
Him.
You're the problem when we have with that, Albert. This man, to date, have not answered the question in either the affirmative or to deny that him beat the woman. To date, no apology, no acceptance of any wrong. And that's the kind of country that we want to live in. And I like the man,
acceptance.
And I like the man say, boy, I'm sorry and me and my lady make
Shaka.
it up and... Eh?
Shaka, you're wrong.
What?
There's an acceptance of wrong. If the JP never accept that in the wrong, they wouldn't expel him from the party.
So, listen. But them still not say that.
No, but them expel him.
I know. So the GLP claim more respect than the parliament and the country. Because them expel him, but him still sitting at the parliament and not say nothing.
That's correct.
As a parliamentarian sitting in the honorable house. A man on video beating a woman with a stool gets to do everything same way without even showing any remorse or apologizing to the country. But he's ready to go again. I say to the people in Westmoreland, you must know what to do.
Here this other one, Shaka. I saw a video with Raymond Price and the diarrhea mouth GLP boy.
No,
name?
No, I'm not call my friend. So just say with the GLP man.
You know me talking, right?
Yeah, man. You talk my brethren.
Yeah, your brethren.
Yeah.
And all the excitement, I was surprised when your brethren accept that he has not relinquished his British citizenship.
Which one that? I will not relinquish it.
Masu Samuda.
But him no need to. There's nothing in the law that says he needs to.
Well on. So what good for the goose or good for the gander?
No.
Julian had to relinquish his
There's
and the comrade leader have to relinquish
there's nothing in law. There's nothing in law in Jamaica that says you need to. There are some bad-minded people. Listen.
Are you schooling the labor right then?
Listen to me, Albert. There are some bad-minded people and some unfair people, some dishonest people who sat in the parliament on a U.S. citizenship, collect government money with a U.S. citizenship, which is by law is illegal, and you're supposed to lose your seat based on what the law says, who are making a big thing out of this. There is nothing in law that says Matthew Samuda must relinquish his British citizenship. Nothing.
So what about the mouthpiece that people deal with? That call themselves radio station.
Listen, we have to now understand in Jamaica that a drowning man catches on to a straw.
Catch on and win too.
Also. And what we are seeing by a lot of these things are the desperation coming out because we have the most corrupt administration ever in Jamaica. And
a media house that feed off of them.
Showing a lack of competence in how a country is run. And we're now hearing them say, oh, the country hard for run. I don't know if you not realize them I say it. That it's not easy. You realize them I say it now?
Yes, but I want you to list this one. I don't think it's climate change why I'm saying so. Because I realize that you talk about drowning man getting up on straw. You them get up on climate change too. That's how it damage the road them. And I cause the road them to be in that situation.
I heard the Prime Minister. And we listen to him. And he's also saying that it is the PNP. Because when the PNP in power, them don't have no money. If you do nothing. And Ralston gave us a lesson this morning of the last tenure of a PNP government in office, correcting the wrongs and had to take your parents to school to get readmitted in the international financial sector because Jamaica was expelled from the international financial groupings, all agencies, because of what the GLP did. And for 9 years, they have had the most money to spend. This administration, barring none, have had the most financial space and the most resources to fix the problem, which they did not because of wrong policy, bad policy. That's what mash we up.
But Shaka, two things. I read where the same gentleman that you were talking about, if he's gentle, talk about they had to scrap the road improvement program. And now them are fixed road without that. He scrapped the program, but he never scrapped the tax.
But hold
Because
on.
there were a certain amount of money put on the gas for road improvement.
But them
And them
scrap
just
it.
dump that money in the consolidated fund.
But them scrap it, Albert, and never put nothing in place. Never do no road maintenance. He's saying
No,
that the money was
you,
not enough. So what you need to do not add more to it? You
No,
never add no more to it.
no,
You-
but but what we need to do when them are boss about no new tax, that was new tax going to the consolidated fund. Because
But-
originally it wasn't supposed to be there. So more money going there for them to spend all
But
them
let me
want.
also remind the Prime Minister. I want to remind the Prime Minister that the fund for the road, for the money for the tax for the road fund was different from the edge. It's two different taxes.
Of course.
Two
Of
different
course.
taxes, Mr. Prime Minister.
Right?
And remember that you're also
And-
collecting the edge and you are not edging. So it's what you do with all
Right.
of the taxes on gas. One for insurance, one for road. You put all of them in the consol fund and you don't do none of them. And therefore the
Right.
roads are damaged.
And Alisha for a supplementary budget was that he put on $7 additional for gas. So when them talk about no new tax, them a be black says yes the morning people born. Right?
Yes, Albert.
So you know, boy, we have to just wise up here, big man, and continue to have rest and teach the people, because if it come from me and you're a politician, more it come from.
All right, my
You
brother.
understand me? So take care.
Blessings. The Constitution does not recognize anyone who swear to another country, not even Britain. Old folks never know because they're blind. Trust the politician in the past and it catch up on them. Kirk, the Constitution said to be a member of Parliament in Jamaica, you have to be a Commonwealth citizen. Commonwealth citizen. Yeah? So, get that part there. Jamaica is a Westminster parliamentary government. The opposition has very limited powers to do anything. Limited? The sitting government have almost all the power. Almost, no, Christopher. The opposition have no power to do nothing. I'm just there for consultation. Prime Minister consult him, now if he agree. The government have all the powers. All of it. Not almost. All of the power. There are just a few things like deeply entrenched aspects of the Constitution that needs a 2/3 majority. Then the opposition side, as it relates to in the Senate, somebody has to agree. But in terms of governance, the government have all the powers. 804-7072, we're taking your calls. And those of you out there in the chat room where I run up on the mouth, call the man, make we hear some rubbish. We want to hear it, you know. We want to hear on a defense to the crashing of the economy. The economy come falling down. And at the same time, you're telling us that it is doing well. We want to hear the defense of the rubbish that the bad roads caused by climate change and the Prime Minister. Roads that are done well, stand up. Roads that are maintained, stand up. You're not cleaning the drain. The curve and channel in the road, them not clean. So when the rain fall, the water running at the middle of the road. The roads that are being rehabilitated are not done properly. And I say to the communication man at NWA the other day, when they dig out a hole in the road, and I watched the North Coast Highway, and the asphalted concrete on the North Coast Highway is about 6 inches thick. And they cut out that and they dig. And when they're done, them full it up back and full it up with marl, come right up to the top. I am saying that that is unacceptable. You must full it up, come back to the asphalted concrete and put in back the 5 or 6 inches. Or even if you put in back 4, but you can't just paint it. Not even half-inch asphalt, you know, put on it. See the place over Norwich there, sir, where them dig out. There's a next place down Black Hill. And I'm calling on the NWA, you need to start cut the overhang them over the road. In the main road. The trees that cover the main road are causing fast deterioration of the surface because the surface remain wet longer than it needs to be. Christopher.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Blessings, my
Colin,
brother.
and
Welcome.
everybody on the platform. I want to go back a little to what Mr. Hyman was saying earlier about infrastructure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The country that you have to look at that use that formula is China.
Yeah.
No, in 1978.
Hold on, Chris. Let me just
Nixon
take a
went
call
to-
and come back to you. Hold on, don't move. Hello, morning.
Yeah, Bella, how are you, sir?
Wagwan, brother.
I am here. Blessings.
What you say?
Well, wow, what a really expressive, lucid, professional, intellectual, legitimate, conversation you have had this morning with
Solid.
the guru. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, with the exceptional economist, the only credible voice in economics and finance, in Jamaica right now. The only credible voice,
Yeah. Chris, I'm coming back to you.
Yes. So, learn a lot,
Beautiful. That's the intention.
A lot, a lot.
Me too.
A lot has been resurrected too.
Yes.
Some things that were very docile and dormant in knowledge. Have been revived and resuscitated. Yeah, and very clear that we need people, not even people. We need a man like this.
Yes.
In the middle of the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, man. To call it out.
Like this. Yeah.
Bring it to the attention of the people.
Yeah, man. And so where we are now at this juncture of our development, of our existence, I should say,
Yes.
It can't be anymore. Only partisan political consideration that shall determine a person's qualification for a position. Because right now, that kind of determination has failed us,
Yes.
Because the people who are being placed in positions are people without knowledge, without experience, without sense, to make a difference, and to address the critical problems that we are faced with in this country, And we cannot continue this for another 5 years, another 3 years, not even another 2 years,
No.
Colin, you can just imagine, right? You can imagine wildly, or you can imagine pointedly,
Mm-hmm.
that it is the intention of the government, to deprive the people of their legitimate, constitutional opportunity and right,
Mm-hmm.
to select the government that they need,
Of course.
What am I say?
Mystical. We have to do what we have to do. Serious time, winner.
No, it is. But let me put this caveat there.
Yeah.
If that is the intention and they successfully carry it out, it will not last a year because Almighty God, will take a decision where all of them who are engaged in this conspiracy and collaboration, will be wiped out by the strike of a lightning.
Chris?
Yeah? This is not normal talk,
Mystical.
It's a judgment talk.
What scares me big time is the fact that the government is not admitting that there is a problem. And therefore, if we continue this way, it is going to be a disaster.
No. Reprogram your talk. It's not going to be a disaster. It is already a disaster. It cannot get worse. It cannot get worse. So, if there's no alternative, and there's no other pathway, then it will remain dead. The only thing that will happen, Colin, is that the stink will get more smelly. Yeah? That's all that will happen. Because anybody think that this can go any further with the current administration. They're not only fooling themselves, but they're also dead. It cannot be that you can't account for $3 trillion and you still, have acceptability or acceptance, in this country or in this world. Yeah? So anybody want to polarize and particularize this thing in partisanship, they do it at their own peril and the peril of all of us. Yeah? Because you think that is one segment of this country that will continue to feel the brunt of exploitation and oppression. Yeah? It is going to be the entire country. We will realize soon and very soon that will be swallowed up in the misery, swallowed up totally when we cannot function because there is no foreign exchange, when we cannot function because there is no income, that can suffice the demands, of occupation and people's appetite. When there will be no jobs available and the jobs that we have will totally disappear because the country cannot move. It is in a state of dilemma. It is dysfunctional. Yeah. Don't we see what is happening? You don't see the dump is burning. Look at what is happening in Spanish Town. Yeah. And I want to say this. Are you with me?
Yes, man. I'll listen to you.
I want to say this, using Spanish Town as an example, because you see the hypocrisy that exists in this country and the evil that exists in this country.
Yeah, you heard the news report it.
You see the media is a part of the mercenarial collaboracy, and don't think that they will not be swallowed up in anything that happens to this country. Everybody will be swallowed up. Institutions, government, whether they be private, public, or whatever, will be swallowed up. Yeah, me and you will swallow up tonight too. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
It can't be that the Klansman gang has been resurrected from the dead. Is it? It must be. Because there's no one order. There's none. And if we are going to particularize criminality, and we're going to talk about whose gang it is from whose gang, and the police force should be held culpable, for giving allegiance to politics over security. You know what I'm saying to you? Because I've been here and I've been listening to the utterances over years, and I've been listening to current commissioner when he was not a commissioner, and I've been listening to all of them, and the failure to identify the problem correctly. And if you can't identify them correctly and deal with them, they will always be around to haunt you. And this is what it is, because they are not practicing unfettered, security,
Talk to me.
They're not practicing innocent, unfettered security according to the doctrine of security. They have mixed the doctrine with politics, and this is the result. So when I hear the Prime Minister talking about the communities must disengage themselves from gunmanship, and control by criminal elements and gangs. Listen to me, man. What is he saying? What is he saying? Has he identified the problem correctly? Don't you know, and we all know, and he knows, that it starts with the politicians, and they are the biggest hindrance to civil order in this country.
Mystical.
So when he's talking about they must detach themselves, the politicians must detach themselves from criminality and gunmanship.
I agree with you. My brother, I have a run left here, I have a run left here. I have Chris and Wall, so respect and thanks for the link up. We'll talk.
Blessed, man.
Chris.
You mean the heat?
Chris, morning. Sorry about that. I apologize.
Yeah, Ralston. Hear me, Ralph. Hey, Colin, I
Yeah,
wanted to kind of follow up on what Ralston was saying. Now, the country we need to look at is China. How did China become the second most powerful economy in the world? Remember, China was closed off from the world until Nixon went there in 1970, and they had agreement to open up the economy.
Yes.
The Chinese use three primary things to grow the economy. First, education, infrastructure, and export. Those were the main three tools the Chinese used to catch up to the West and surpass all economies except the US in 50 years. So what Ralston is saying is not some harebrained scheme. You have to have an educated populace. You have to earn more than you're spending, meaning you have to export, and you have to build out your infrastructure.
Yes. Yes.
That is the key. All of those are infrastructure things. Education is infrastructure. Physical infrastructure like roads, bridges, and all the other stuff that comes along with that. And export, meaning you're earning to drive that infrastructure growth. It's a loop that you have to close. Everything works together. So I have been following this man for years. He's absolutely right on what he's saying. He's not talking some fairy tale.
None at
He's
all.
not making up anything.
None at all.
Okay? What you must understand, Colin, right-wing governments think alike. If you see when Ronald Reagan came in, what he did was he made universities and colleges into a business.
Yes,
so that means people had to bankrupt themselves to get an education because their thing is always about the money first, not the money on the back end. They want the money up front. So everything has to become a business first. Right now, the tax policies that Trump is putting in, the bottom level will be paying more taxes and the top level will be paying less taxes. I will actually make more money under Trump than people at the bottom.
Whoa.
What sense can that make?
So the rich will be richer and the poor
far
will be
richer.
poor.
Elon Musk will be far richer. Bezos and all these guys will be far richer. You see them all gravitating towards him. But that's the right-wing mindset.
Hold on, Chris. I just want to address Kirk. Kirk say, why didn't you tell the caller the $3 trillion missing is a lie? And the media must apologize.
When I deal with Kirk, seems to be a moron. I'm sorry.
I want to respond to him. I want to respond to him because this thing about the $3 trillion, and they keep saying it's not missing. Nobody said it's missing. There's $3 trillion Jamaican dollars that different agencies and ministries of government have not furnished the Auditor General with the financials so that the Auditor General can tell us yes or no, these monies were spent according to how they were budgeted. None was stolen and everything is in order. That cannot be. So when we say it's unaccounted for, it means the accounts have not been presented to the Auditor General by the government. That shows also a part of the incompetence and the inability to govern within the rule of law in the country. It is a breach of law. What is happening with that $3 trillion, Kirk? You need to tell people that. And the government and the agencies need to step up and furnish these financials. The Ministry of Finance, they have not turned in their financials for over $1 trillion. The Office of the Prime Minister, $10 billion in the last 3 years. These are things that used to be done. And it is showing a looseness, the tendency of corruption when you are not transparent and you don't hand over the accounts of the spending. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Kirk. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Well, Colin, if you wanted to enrich yourself off the government, what is the easiest way to do it?
You tell me.
You simply have to not turn in your accounts because within that whole thing, you can do your little shenanigans.
Yeah.
This is why people keep double books, the mafia, when they must deal with the government and them running business, they have two books. They have one what they present to the government and what they keep for themselves. People know how to manipulate accounts to steal money. And that is why they cannot present these accounts to the AG.
Chris.
Because we are not morons. We're not stupid. We know what is going on.
The Ministry of Education has not given in the account the financials for almost $1 trillion, $902 billion over 9 years or 10 years. And remember, we have the issue of a Ruel Reid who is in court for basically moving money. So what you're trying to say to us, Kirk?
We have so many, Petrojam, all kind of things. We know that within the mist, that's where the corruption takes place. So listen, we hire people in all of these ministries to keep account of what is going on. So why they can't? I have an accountant for all of my business, and when I have to file with the IRS, they send all my documents to the IRS, and the IRS can say this is what I owe or this is not what I owe.
Yeah.
So listen, what are these people talking about? What are they talking about?
Kirk, I've never heard anybody say the money is missing. I've heard unaccounted for. I've heard it put the way I put it. The financials have not been presented to the Auditor General because the Auditor General is the constituted authority to look into all of these spending when the budget is made and the funds are allocated. The Auditor General must get the financials to say this spend so, that no spend so. And when the Auditor General do her job, the Prime Minister is now coming down on her. So you can't work, Kirk. Time come. Chris, anything else you want to add?
I just want to say sometimes you're just willingly ignorant or you're just corrupt. I don't know what the mindset of these people are, but we'll see. Thank you, Colin, as usual. Thank you.
Brother, thanks much, man, and keep on doing what you're doing. One love. Yes, my people. Yes. So we're calling on our MP down here in East Portland. We want to hear you speaking to us publicly. We have questions for you. We have never heard your plans articulated for the constituency. And I am here saying to the people of East Portland, we need to hear, and you have some questions that you need to answer. Yeah, man. We are also challenging you. We are challenging you to about 5 debates. I think every candidate should have at least one debate in their division. So the constituency is divided up in divisions. East Portland have 5, West have 4. You know, you should have at least 4 debates in each division on the issues of each division. But we'll see. Hello, morning, final caller.
A good Saturday morning to you, Sir Colin.
Oh, thank you very much, and same to you, my dearest.
I receive it as such. Let me just put all of this thing now. I am the lady that like to call a thing a thing.
Okay.
This foolish unaccountability and missing. Let me help all of you in Jamaica and abroad. Where the money there? That is it. Problem solved.
How you spend the money?
That is the question. So what for all of these people that having a vocabulary gymnastics and don't want to call a thing and continue to do this lie and sweep the dirt under the carpet while the Jamaican people are starving and dying. Where the money there? Okay, and another thing is this. You see when this happens, Sir Collins?
Mm-hmm.
When a department receives the money,
yeah,
and when that department or that minister or that ministry cannot account for how them spend the money, they're not supposed to get the more money until it clear up. It's very simple.
Well,
it's a problem, and I'm giving you a solution.
You heard Warmington in the parliament. I said them now get them now get the CI the corruption. What them name, Lord God? Why me the Integrity Commission. Warmington said now get the Integrity Commission no more money until the full audit come in.
Because I fee money, him a thief so long, I fee money. You know, here even the policeman know about a fee money. when him take fee money and train the police them. I feel the money now, you know.
I feel him too.
And a taxpayer money now.
No,
Listen to
but
the people that want
no,
to
but
talk.
I'm a taxpayer too. I'm a
man,
taxpayer
you
too.
must listen to
When
the
me spend
people.
my money,
Listen.
see what money me
No,
spend.
but the people them, they don't even have that. Listen.
No, but
Time so big and bad
Carla.
and large and in charge now. They don't even have to hide it no more, you know. Imagine the police commission, the highest security minister in the country. Tell you say a fee him money.
well,
And when him train for him police, them now go they go do this and them now go they go do that.
fee police and fee
This-
money.
This is the vocabulary that coming from these people, you know. My thing is simply this. For you see, like how they talk about the one republic and all of that. That is not our priority. Our priority, you see, all of these problems that we're having, we must come up with a solution for these problems.
Talk to me.
You see, this money where we don't know where the money there. That is the title we're going to use from now on to help the fully dunce people, them that Andrew Holness has built up a new generation of people that fall under the vocabulary of fully dunce.
Talk to me.
Because why is it going to go into this exchange about missing, unaccounted? But Colin, if I give you $100 and you're supposed to come back next week at the end of the month and tell me how you spend the $100, and you can't tell me how you spend the money, did you receive the money?
Yes. So
So
me
how come
supposed
you can't tell me how you spend it?
so me supposed to present to you now the financials of how the money was spent. And let me remind you all, that all these agencies and ministries have what you call internal auditors who are
So let me ask you
tasked
something.
with ensuring that these books are kept.
No, but let me ask you something. How comes when all of we not do what we're supposed to do, it become a problem? They might say it's a misdemeanor. They might say it's a felony. They might say we have break the law. But when these politicians do it, it's not a crime.
No,
Is it a crime when you cannot? Isn't that a part of your job responsibility?
hold on,
so if
Carla.
you're failing in your job responsibility,
Hold on.
don't you need to be replaced?
Hold on, Carla. I don't know if you listened to the interview with Jeanette Calder. And she said
Yes.
there's a law that says you must report. And if you don't report, you have a problem. Hold on there. What go on, my friend? You want to talk to me upon it?
All right, let me let you go
Yeah,
so you
me-
can talk
yeah.
to that person. Let me
You
let
call him up
somebody
and
in.
come
I'm
off.
going to slide out.
No, man, you can't go and talk. It's a call me get
No,
from
man, but
my friend
listen.
Marlon Morgan. But all right, Carla, I hear you.
No, listen. No. Listen, you see, all that man they like when you're Marlon. Is that the Marlon that represented the JLP? Is that the same person?
Yeah, man. I'm a brethren.
Let's hold on a little bit. So wait, he really thinks, say, when you fling out the word them, that the word them already contaminated and full of lies. That when them lick the wall, when you basically in a circling, when you throw a ball against a wall, it bounces off, you know.
Yes.
But when Marlon come out because the ball so heavy with lie and
Stuck.
and soil, when he lick the ball, it leave a mark, you know.
I
It
hear
leaves
you.
a mark. Every time Marlon comes out and speak, the dishonesty, it just belittles whatever intelligence he bring into the conversation. He believes, say, him can come and call something by a different name. And all of a sudden, the truth is no longer the truth. It becomes a lie. That is not how the truth works, Marlon.
All
The
right.
truth busts a lie ass any day of the week, any time of the day. Do not come out here. Have a little dignity for yourself and stop whatever little money them give you. You know, worth your dignity. At the end of the day, Colin, all of us need to look in the mirror and like who we're looking back at.
Of course. Take a
You
look at the
cannot
man in
come
the
out here
mirror.
and tell us those lies.
All right, my love. Have a good weekend. Me gone left you.
All right, my love. Keep up the good work and all the best to you for 2025.
Thanks and same to you. May the Lord continue to bless and keep you all, make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace now and forevermore. Until we join again Tuesday evening for the Colin Bell Show. Wednesday we are on Mastercat Radio at Zeno FM. And we are back here Saturday morning. Thanks everybody. God bless you.